Welcome to Gamereactor TV. We're here in Paris to look at all the latest titles from Ubisoft. Check it out. What's new about Conviction?
Wow, there are many things that that have changed in the game. Well, the first thing is Sam. We know Sam as a special spy agent hiding in the dark and infiltrate. He's been a double agent and now is a fugitive, which might seem a narrative change, but it's not only a narrative change. It affects all the gameplay mechanics, because as a fugitive you need to move faster, you need to think somehow faster. So we had to develop all these new gameplay mechanics that were not possible on previous console, because well, to us the stealth is an art. It's the art of going unnoticed. And the light and shadow gameplay was one way, very radical way to express it with the detection aspect. But now we're open it to new possibilities, because it's not only a matter of being detected, it's also a matter of being recognized as a fugitive. It opens a lot of possibilities, and we've spent 2 years to work on new technologies to create a full dynamic environment where you can interact with any objects to fight, where you can manipulate the crowd, because as a fugitive you'll have to, crowds is a good way to hide somehow. So all these new mechanics based on a diversion system, where you got to make sure that the guards' attention are not on you, on anything else but you. This is the challenge a player will have to encounter, and this is a global philosophy behind this game.
I see a few similarities with another game from Ubisoft Montreal, Assassin's Creed, in that sense, with the crowd and hiding and trying to blend in. Have you talked to them? Have you worked together on something with this title?
Oh, well, the teams are in the same building. They're not using the same technology. To us and to me, I mean to everybody, a crowd is the next gen ingredients, and shortly most of the game will use it. What makes a difference is how you're using such new possibilities, because you could just have more NPCs, but it doesn't make better game having more people, just displayed on the screen. On Splinter Cell, we wanted to focus on a diversion system to manipulate somehow the crowd. Assassin's Creed is doing something else, which which fits perfectly with the Assassin's feeling. So it's not a matter of what makes a difference at the end is the gameplay, and the two games has done their philosophy very differently.
Have you taken any influence from say movies or TV series?
Oh yeah, obviously. Well, the first reference was Splinter Cell, obviously, because that was the guidelines to the universe. Sam Fisher being a major element. Die Hard was one of them as well, because we've thought of these scenes where there's a big firefight and everything is blowing up, and you can use objects that flip tables to use it as a cover and such things. So we thought of this big dynamic environment where you can behave and use it to your own benefits. Other inspiration, Born Identities and Born Supremacies as a setup, where he's a sort of fugitive but very skilled. He can fight, he can do close combat, and Sam Fisher can do such things, in a game. Other than that, there was some maybe Resident Evil, the game, because they got a nice way to present the context. You know what's happening in a setup, and then you find your own solutions to encounter this menace or this setup. So we thought it was nice. This is something we're trying to do in terms of philosophy of development. So yes, there are tons of inspiration as always, and our key ambition is to convey the fugitive feelings using new tools to support it. But, well, it's still a Clancy story, so there's a big Clancy setup on the top of that. But as a player, you won't know what's happening, and that's your goal. You need to discover with Sam what's happening to you. So in the beginning, it's weird, because Sam used to have all this power with the gadgets, the intelligence and all this, but not much freedom, because he's been told what to do all the time. Now it's the opposite. He's losing all his power. He needs to, rebuild his gadget equipment and find things on the black market. But he has a lot of freedom. And having a Sam Fisher for the first time in such freedom is very cool, because for the first time you can really feel what kind of character he is, and as a player you can make him evolve on his quest, which is something we haven't done very much in the past in the Splinter Cell series.
It looks like a very, very different Splinter Cell. So why did you choose to go a different path? Did you feel like you'd done the Dark and Light too much and that it was time for something new?
Well, it's a major change, but it's also an evolution of what we believe the stealth is. There are many similarities in terms of mindsets for the player, because in previous Splinter Cell the player has learned about what to detect, elements to detect in the environment. Now it's a similar setup. You're still looking around to detect elements. It's just that the pacing is much faster because people are running after you. You need to improvise with stuff. So to support this new setup, we've added tons of objects in the environment so the player can pick up quickly the elements he needs in the environment and use it in the pace of action. So the philosophy of the gaming remains the same. It's just the tools and the means we're using that are a bit different than what we've seen in the past.
Do you have any plans for multiplayer as well?
As always, Splinter Cell became a multiplayer game. I cannot talk much about the multiplayer today, but it's all developed in Montreal with a similar engine, with similar features as well. So you can imagine these new mechanics with crowds and things and having a multiplayer experience into it. So that's all I can say today.